Debates. I really should do this every day at the same time so that like people know when it is. But yeah, I suppose so many things going on in life that it's hard to. I'm looking at the stream right now. It looks good to me on YouTube. So we're live on YouTube. We're live on TikTok. And well, we're not live on TikTok yet. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Facebook, and we're about to go live on TikTok. Perfect. Oh my gosh. This should be the first time that every platform is live and doing good. And obviously we want people to be watching on TikTok. That is the best platform to view on. Let me just see if the view account is still gonna work. Let's test it out. What's up, everybody? What's up, TikTok viewers? As I always say, it's always better to watch on YouTube. Personally, that's what I think. I think you get a better viewer experience. But yeah, how's everybody doing? We got Ghetto. Thanks for joining the live, Ghetto. Appreciate it. Where's my little view account? Because we want that popping up on the screen too, don't we? What's up, Blanca? What's up, Jada Burry? Thank you guys for joining the live. I appreciate it. I really do. It's always good when people join the live. What's up, Bobby Jack? What's up, Rugby? Rugby, you're here. What's up, Nikki Morgan? View account, here it is. Let's test it out. Is there a reason why it's not showing? Girl, you know you are a mystery to me. We can fix that. That's very easy to fix. Put the view account on YouTube for the YouTube viewers. What's up, Folly? What's up, AM? What's up, Grace McGovern? Thanks for joining the live, guys. What's up, Smudger? What is up? Hello. Oh no, we don't want that. We want the view account. AM says, add me, I want to debate. Oh, I think I know what it might be. It might be the order. Let's move it to the top. There we go. Isn't that lovely? So the view account's gonna start going up. That's great, isn't it? Doesn't that look so professional, YouTube? Yeah, we love it. We love it. AM, you can debate once we get to 1,000 likes. We need to hit our targets. Like goal for this live is 10,000 likes. So 1,000 likes. That's rookie numbers. Legit. So let's just see. I think everything's good. All systems are a go. We got 4 views on TikTok. What's up, Morgan? What's up, Crafting for Fun? What's up, Deleted? What's up, JJ Edits? What's up, Max? What's up, Hailey? Guys, if you're on TikTok viewing, tap the screen to like the live. Also share the live. It boosts us in the algorithm. If you're watching on Facebook, hello, you probably know me. We're just building the platform on Facebook, so I appreciate the support. And if you're watching on, where else is there to watch on? Is it TikTok? We got TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. Man, managing all these platforms at the same time is it's trying, but we're doing it. We're doing a good job. I think we're doing a good job. Yeah, and you know what you mean to me. She told me, baby, don't be mean to me. I said, girl, you know you are a mystery to me. Oh, no, we're not actually live on Facebook. Now we're live on Facebook. I didn't press the live. I was watching the live preview. But now the live is going to be on Facebook. That's really good. Yolo says, no, y'all have way more issues. Who? Dan Allen says, better at what? I'm not American, by the way, in case you can't tell by my accent. How? Please explain. We're going to get into it. We just need more people to come into the live, tap the screen, etc. What's up, Spiritually Rye? What's up, I Spook? What's up, Timmy J? What's up, Dra Man? What's up, Weird Iris? I'm going to need you guys to tap the screen, boost us in the algorithm, so that we can properly start the live stream. Let's just adjust the camera a little bit. Yeah. Very nice. Didn't American government just get shut down? Well, we can get into it. I'm not English, by the way. I'm British. There's a difference. But we can get into it. If someone can tell me more about the America shutdown, that would be interesting. I kind of know why the government shut down, but I think it just sounds worse than it actually is. It's like a deadlock, isn't it? Because the Democrats don't want a bill to pass. That's ridiculous. They literally doing things to the detriment of the country because they don't want a bill to pass. Democrats suck, man. Didn't America government... Oh, yeah, already answered that. English accent, yep. DJ Wave, what's up? Reet says they don't every year, apparently. You mean it does shut down a lot? Oh, it does. Iceweek says, so the two parties didn't agree, so it was a shutdown due to a disagreement. Is it really that they didn't agree, or is it that the Democrats are being stubborn and belligerent? Oh, Reed says they do it every year. Okay. Chella says, I mean, obviously y'all getting put in jail for having an opinion. Yeah. Well, that's kind of the point of the live in a sense. Like, we're examining the issues in the UK. And obviously we can also talk about issues in America, but I don't even think it's really a comparison. I mean, I do this live so often now. It's just, we just shooting the shit, really. It's an entertaining live. Elmo Hat's in the live. Say hello. Manifestation Mama says, I love how you protected your family and stood up. You're an amazing example of a man. I appreciate that. I am a very strong-minded person. So, but you know, there's always going to be sacrifices in the battle against tyranny. And unfortunately, these people, they will kill people, they will lie about people, they will cover up because they're tyrants. And we can't fold. You know what I mean? We can't acquiesce to tyranny. Osh says, I think America has more issues, but it's still a better place to live. What's your opinion on this? I don't think it has more issues. Not for the average person. I think the UK has way more issues than America. Way, way, way more. As a person living in the UK, if we don't turn this around, the UK will never come back from it. Yeah, we're just in a slow decline now, I think. OBJ says, NHS trash lady needed life-saving plastic surgeries. They said she isn't qualified. But people are going to talk about the insurance companies doing that as if it doesn't happen in the UK. It happens all the time in the UK. Five Square Boxes says Rectangle says the only bad thing about America is the healthcare and the schools. The healthcare is not bad. Healthcare is good in America. Flower Power says UK is bad right now. Bobby said, let me join. Bobby, I'll let you join when we get to 1K likes. We need to boost our likes in order to keep the live rolling over. We've got 59 viewers live on TikTok, 62 even. Lucas says, to be honest, both are cooked. I want to know where you think isn't cooked. King Luke says, we have to pay 50 quid just to step inside A&E. That's not a lot of money, you know. You got to remember, everything has pros and cons. We don't like paying for things, but remember, when you pay for things, it helps to control demand and supply of that thing. So if there's too much demand for something and not enough supply, then the quality of that thing usually decreases, unless there's a way to mitigate that happening, and that's what happens with healthcare as well. Iceweek says, rack up a 500k health bill, UK free medical care. Who is racking up a 300 or 500k health bill? That's extremely rare in the United States. Anybody who does that, I would advise them to just go bankrupt, and or just don't pay it and let it come off your credit later. You know, you can get off that bill. Molten says both going down the toilet. I don't really see how both are going. I don't really see how the USA is going down the toilet. If someone can explain it to me, that'd be great. Turbo says, yes, I cannot choose where I was born. Bobby says, done, let me join. Okay, I'll let you join. The USA has probably saved themselves by the skin of their teeth, but their rebuild will be minimal. The UK are probably 12 months away from no return. I think the UK is for 4 to 5 years away from no return. And I don't mean that it's going to actually collapse as a society. I mean it will just slowly continue to decline irreversibly. King Duke says, if anyone's severely ill, pass out or anything before you get treated, we have to pay 50 quid. That's a lie. Lucian says, Laurie stuffs, this has to be satire. What, your comment? Jack Rhoda says, both suck. Jack Master says, true, they got the down. We need DJT here. Lucas Ramos, by the way, USA government has lost their government. No, they haven't. Even with health insurance, I've seen bills of hundreds of thousands. An ambulance in the USA is like $5,000. Okay. Well, you can talk about rare, random things, but you need to also give context to the things that you're talking about. It's paramount. What's up, Bobby?
What's up, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right, man. Do you know what? Yeah, do you know what? I'm all right, man. But what you said, I listen. I agree, Rob. I agree, man. I agree. But it's not even a laughing matter. You know what I mean? I shouldn't even be. You know what I mean? But I feel like the UK's just done it to itself. It is so easy. It's just so easy. They could have easily avoided it. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel that there's no way back. Like there's no way back. You can't do anything about it.
The way back is new constitution.
So let me just higher the
UK constitution, UK Bill of Rights. We just need to emulate a lot of the things that they have in the United States. That's my personal opinion. I think the NHS needs to turn into a mixed healthcare model. They need to deport 5 million people at least, probably 10. And that's none of that stuff's going to happen. So because none of that's going to happen, it's just going to be increasing dependence on the public sector, increasing dependence on the government, Wages
Yeah,
continue to stagnate, taxes continue to rise. I don't see any way out of it.
but you know what? Yeah, I feel like it's deeper than that. I'm not sure if you agree, mate. Bro, I don't know if you agree, bro, but I feel like there's no like, listen, there's no like culture anymore. You know what I mean? In England, there's nothing to. Yeah, even when I was growing up, there was a bit of British culture when I was growing up.
I think there is a
But
culture. You need to go away and
the,
come back, and then the culture's more palpable.
brother, I
It's
feel
just,
like yeah,
it's just
go
a
on.
culture that isn't necessarily a culture of success and meritocracy. It's a culture. We still have unique
But what culture?
identifying
Like,
things.
what's the culture in Britain nowadays? Like, what's the culture now? There's still
Complaining, being depressed, loving the NHS, drinking tea, going to the pub, being
yeah,
polite.
of course, yeah.
There are a lot of to be fair, there are a lot of things that are uniquely British, like being in a
just-
terrible situation, still maintaining, a
Just stiff upper
cordial
lip, yeah.
kind of a countenance. That's a British thing, and you remember Britain is basically the progenitors of the modern world. So a lot of the things that we see as ubiquitous across the world, that they are actually British culture. So it's not to say that there's
Yeah, but-
nothing great about Britain. It's just, again, the question of how do we stop the decline? I think that we need to Americanize a bit more. That's
Just
just
stop.
my
I feel
perspective.
like, you know what? I'm saying this as a black man, innit? I'm saying this as a black man. I'm just being real, innit? I feel like, the boats need to stop. They need to stop letting people in at this point.
Do you honestly think that the problems in the UK are because of like
course.
10,000 illegal immigrants?
But it's not 10,000, it's millions.
It's actually like 10,000, bro, literally.
What, in a year?
Well, the past 2 years, it went up
1,000
significantly.
people
It was
came
like
in.
50k or something. But if you do an average for like the past 10, 20 years, it's like 10k a year max, bro. I don't think that the problems in a country of 80 million people are being caused by like 10k a year people.
Yeah, but like, it is because like the communities are being ripped apart. That's the thing. The communities are being ripped apart.
No, I agree.
Like,
I'm not saying it's not a
Broski-
problem. I'm not saying it's not a problem.
Yeah.
But I'm saying these problems that we're talking about
Yeah.
have existed in the UK for like the past 20 years. Or they've been slowly creeping in for like the past 20 years. And I don't
you know
think
what I
that it's
mean?
mainly... You got to think, remember, there's like 500k... You're talking about illegal immigrants. There's like 500k legal immigrants. That's going to have way more effect on culture than illegal immigrants.
Yeah, I know, but I just like the people like in the past, like what, decade or so, or even further, probably like the past 2 decades at this point. The people that you're just letting in, you know what I mean? They failed. You know what I mean? When my parents came in, my parents assimilated straight away. Yeah?
Really?
But yeah, they did.
Why
They
should
did.
a person
They
have
told-
to?
they
But
knew.
why should a person have to assimilate in
Wait,
a
they
country?
should
like-
assimilate, bro.
So you said, what do you
Of
mean
course
by
they should.
assimilate? But what do you mean by assimilate? you mean
like,
everyone should behave the same?
Fit in, like just fit in to society. You
But,
know what I mean?
but I
Just
don't
fit
feel
in
like
to-
I fit in with society, bro. Like, I don't think people
bro-
are obliged to fit in. As long as they're like
People
following
are-
the law,
no,
I don't
wait,
think they have to
bro,
fit
broski,
in.
broski,
I just think
broski.
it's a logistical problem. Like 500k people with a country where everyone's
Yeah,
dependent
alright.
on the state apparatus, that's going to cause
Alright.
friction. Where you got national socialized healthcare, that's going to cause friction. But I don't think necessarily these arguments about like you're obliged to fit in. I don't think
But broski-
that. Go on.
Come on, bro. Can I say this point? Like,
Yeah.
That's come on. I totally disagree, bro. Like,
But you don't fit
I
in though.
believe,
That's the thing. Like
if
you're saying people should fit in, but you don't fit in with quintessential Englishness. So how can you expect?
Yeah, but I'm not talking about skin color. I'm talking about just culture. You know what I mean?
But bro,
just,
I can
know what
tell
mean?
you right now that the way that you are perceived in the UK, you will be perceived more as someone that doesn't fit in with what's quintessentially English. So
No,
you
no,
don't
that's not
fit
the case,
in
man.
really, and neither do I. But that's okay. You don't have to fit in.
That's yeah, but because of skin color. Like, it's not
Not because of skin color. It's because of culture. Like, what's your ethnic background?
I'm originally Nigerian.
Okay, what tribe are you?
Igbo.
I'm Igbo as well, right? Okay, so
Yeah,
so you're telling me what? Let me ask you this: are you more Igbo or are you more English?
But I don't know the language.
Are you more Igbo or are you more English?
Well, my blood is Igbo, isn't it? So, but I can't speak the language. I can speak English, but I can't understand or speak it.
But just by virtue of you saying that, you've basically separated yourself from the masses. Do you get it?
How?
So I'm
'Cause
saying,
what?
I'm not saying that it's wrong. I'm just saying, like, you can't say, well, you can say what you want, but
I've never even stepped foot. I've never
it's
even
about
stepped foot in
fitting in,
Africa.
I
I've
don't
never even
think,
stepped foot in Africa.
huh?
I've never even stepped foot in Africa.
Neither, well,
I've
I've never been to Nigeria myself, but I'm saying that nobody really fits in. Only like some super NPCs that do everything the government say fit in. Like, you don't have to fit in. Like, I don't fit in, bro. Like that, but I don't think that's what the issue is
bro,
they don't fit in. Like,
But bro, I have to disagree with you there. Like, I have to disagree with you. When wherever you go, you have to assimilate. Do you know what I mean? For example, hold on. For example, if Nigeria now, let's have a Nigeria for example. If a bunch of YT people was gonna or whoever Indian or whoever any other race than African, yeah, was to live in Nigeria, but they want to start. Oh no, for example now, or if for example now, not Nigeria, because let's just talk Saudi Arabia now. So for example, if I was going to move to Saudi Arabia,
yeah.
yeah, you want me to like not assimilate there, like
No, you can
you want me to
assimilate,
start
and
eating
no,
pork
you
and
can
that, like,
assimilate,
it's
and
not, it's not,
you will have a superior experience of the place that you live in if you assimilate. But remember, in Saudi Arabia, they don't believe in freedom of expression. It's quintessential
100%, yeah.
freedom of expression and liberty, and a general sense of liberalism. Those things are quintessential to Britain. They're
Yeah.
quintessential to America. So like, I'm just playing almost like playing devil's advocate in a sense of like, you don't have to fit into a place. Like, there are gay people, there are straight people, there are brown people. Like, you don't have to actually fit in to be part
if
of.
you're gonna go to China,
to be part of
you're
like
not gonna
what
adapt to the
makes.
culture.
But that's why I wouldn't live in China, because I don't like places that have this monolithic view where everybody thinks the same. I don't like places where like you are forced to like believe what everybody else believes or act the way everyone else acts. That's what makes Britain and the West great. That's that freedom of expression that people have and the individualism. That's what makes Britain great.
No, you don't. Because let me tell you something. Yeah. You don't. Because for example, if Britain was to go, because this is the example I like to use. If Britain was to go to war now, yeah, and we have to unite, or for example, God forbid, yeah, if Britain was about to be invaded or something, how would we unite as a population? What are we going to unite behind? Do you know what I mean? For example, now we can't even unite for a flag. We can't unite for a king. We can't unite against anything, a religion, nothing, a race. We can't think it nothing. So that's not a country. That's what is that? That's just a desolate. That's just a desolate land, an island. Do you know what I mean? Like, well, not desolate, but like just a cesspool full of just a bunch of people with different religions and different races.
Well, that's what happens. So you can't have it both ways. That's what happens when you have a society that's created with people from a different place. So you either if you want there to be something for everyone to unite behind, do you believe in like ethno-nationalism then? Like, do you think that the UK would be better if it? Okay, so then you agree that different people can live in a place that don't fit in with the mainstream culture, right?
Broski. I'm not ethno-nationalist. Like, I believe like a country should have countries have minorities. Every country has minorities.
Yeah.
But when it comes to a point when there's just too many different cultures, too many different religions, too many different races, and I mean a lot of races. There's too many. Like, there's Roma gypsies. There's so many. Like, you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Like, how is one country? How is one leader? Even a leader. Look, Keir Starmer is useless. But if I was like a prime minister, and especially in the war, how am I supposed to unite this population behind one thing? I can't.
Behind the principles of the law, behind the principles of.
You know what I mean?
There is the thing is there is I kind of agree with what you're saying. Like, there needs to be something that unites people. But does that mean? But hold on. But does that mean to say that they all have to abide by the social norms of the UK?
Of course.
Really?
Of course. Because imagine if I was gonna take a bunch of people. If I was going to take a bunch of people from the third world, for example, if I was going to take a bunch of people from Somalia, or better yet, or Afghanistan, If I was going to take a bunch of people from Afghanistan, they're not going to have the same ideals and principles and values as people, you know, that was actually, you know, born here and raised here. I mean, they're not going to have the same. They're not going to have the same values. I mean, people in. No offense at all, but people in Afghanistan and them sort of countries there, they believe in heinous things. I'm not going to say. You know
That's a bit prejudiced.
It's true. No, but it's true. No, but it's not prejudice. It's just facts. I've seen. It's evidence. It's right. They can research it. You know what I mean? They have a culture over there where you know. There's you know what I mean, people in Britain will think that's heinous.
They have like child marriage and stuff like that. Yeah
So stuff like that, and that's actually happening in the UK today.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
Let
me ask you a question. Do you think that like LGBT people fit in with like mainstream culture?
In my like view, in my point of view, like I feel like because I'm religious, innit? Yeah, I'm religious. Yeah, so I feel I have an ideal of what a good society should be, and what a good society should be. It should be Christian. It should be, you know, Catholic. It should be not overly religious, but it should have the principle of you know, of Christianity, because it's a Christian country. You know what I mean? That's what I think.
I get what you're saying. I'm just kind of, like I said, I'm just kind of playing devil's advocate with regard to your statement that people need to fit in. I feel like people don't have to fit in, bro. Like they just have to abide by the law. There are benefits if everybody like believes the same thing.
You know what I mean?
But it's a balance. But hold on, but it's a balance. It's like if you go to some of these like Muslim countries, like everybody literally just thinks the same way. It's like taboo to even like express anything outside of the norm. You got people like they want to believe something, but they can't because like they're gonna get like ostracized from their family. I don't want to live in a society like that. I like having diversity of thought, diversity of ideas. I think that is what makes the West
just prove my point.
Different from other places. But I get it. There are benefits but I get what you're saying. There does need to be something that unites a country culturally. You know but at the same time, I don't think that you can say necessarily that people that come should have to fit in to what the mainstream is. Because again, I'm here and I don't feel like I fit in with the mainstream.
Well, you fit in.
No, I don't.
I can see you do, bro.
No, I don't.
I don't know your life. I don't know your life and your religion and everything. But I don't see you fitting in, man.
I don't fit in. I'm just confident. But I don't fit in with mainstream ideas.
Yeah. But you just proved my point when you said about in Muslim countries, like, because you said, they're not allowed to in Muslim countries, they're not allowed to, you know.
They enforce a social paradigm where everybody has to fit in.
Yeah, exactly. They're not fitting in.
Yeah, I don't want to live like that.
Same people over here. You know what I'm saying? We're bringing in the same people, and they're bringing in their ideas, and they're putting, and they make you're not allowed to, in like Muslim areas in Britain, you're not allowed to.
That's what's wrong, is that they try to enforce. So but that's the thing. No, but that's what I'm talking about. So you're saying you don't want people like that to come because they enforce social paradigms where you're not allowed to think differently to them. So you are basically challenging them for doing it, but then you are basically trying to do the same thing. But I'm saying I think people should be able to think what they want.
No, I'm not.
And act how they want. If they're following the law, as long as they're not breaking the law, because the whole purpose of having like a common law system and parliament is so that people can have a form of representative democracy. If people generally agree that these are the rules and, you know, you're not breaking the law, you're not harming anybody, you should be able to live how you want to live. I get it. People want to enforce like a certain culture, and I get it. I understand why. No,
I don't.
But I'm not a nationalist.
I just feel like, you know, in my point of view, I feel like a country. What makes a country? You know what I mean? You can have minorities. You can have minorities. Every country has minorities. But when it comes to a point where it comes to a point where, you know, you're just inviting the entire world in at this point. You know what I mean? The island's about to explode. Literally, if you even let one person in, even let half a person in, the whole island's gonna explode. You know what I mean? And I feel like when you have that, you haven't got any country anymore, bro. There's no country anymore. For example, Russia, for example, now, if Russia was going to go, well, Russia is at war now, but if we was going to go to war with Russia, one or like a head to head, like we would be crushed. You know what I mean? We will be absolutely crushed.
I mean,
And
Russia
even
is like
by
the number
by
2
Ukraine,
superpower in the
we'll
world,
even
and the
be
UK
crushed
is
by
like number
Ukraine.
10.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? But the only thing that will maybe give us an advantage is advanced technology. But
Or like the allies of the country.
you know what I mean? We've only got about 80,000, probably less than that, of personnel, and no one wants to join the army. Do you know what I mean? No one wants to join the army. And
Why should someone want to? Why would someone want to sacrifice
but I'm
himself for
saying
like
in
the
a time
banking
of
cartel?
war, in a time of an emergency, I don't see no men like.
Do you think that
willing to join the
sacrificing
army.
your life for the banking system makes you a man?
Listen, me and you have different views, innit? I believe like if you want to be a part of the country, if you want to live here and be a part of society, you've got to be prepared to if time of emergency or invasion, you got to
cool.
do that, man.
Nah.
Do you know what I mean? Like times has changed, man. Like, that's what I believe, man. But I respect you. You've been respectful, so you know what I mean. I'm going to respect your. You know what I mean? But
you do realize that like countries are just arbitrary concepts, and most people, when it comes down to it, they do what's good. I understand, like if you want to keep a certain culture in the country, I agree with you, right? But I think that a culture can unite around the principles of freedom of speech, freedom of expression. Like America does it. Like
course, yes.
I don't think people in America necessarily fit in. I feel like they just unite around the principles of people being able to have life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. They don't expect people to all line up with their principles, as long as their principles, as long as they are aligned with the principles of a free society. That's the only expectation I would have. If you're aligned with the principles of free society. The issue I have with like cultures like Islam and to an extent like the modern leftist culture is that they, to me, are intolerant of the principles of freedom. But I think as long as a person is aligned with the principles of freedom, free enterprise. Now, some people say that would be me expecting everyone to conform with how I believe. But I think generally what I'm trying to do is keep fascism or keep government overreach away from interfering with people's freedom. I'm not trying to enforce a cultural paradigm. I'm just saying people should be allowed to be free to do what they want.
Well, not necessarily. Like I feel like there's a level. Do you know what I mean? There's a level. People can't just do what they want. You know what I mean?
What kind of social rules would you want to enforce?
Like I feel like in schools, for example, like I feel like why not? What is wrong with it? There's nothing wrong. Every morning, let's just sing the national anthem.
What? God Save the King.
Yeah, why not? Because you live in Britain, bro. You live in Britain.
Do you feel subservient to the king?
I don't listen. The king right now. The king. I'm not really impressed.
So why would you want people to sing "God Save the King"?
That's the monarch. That's the monarch of the country, bro. Yeah, and you live under his. You know what I mean?
But nobody voted for him.
Yeah, but it's how it's been for 1,000 years.
So
it's how it's been for 1,000 years, bro. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? For example, if there was a king in Zulu, South, what's that small country? You know what I mean? There's been kings for hundreds of years in Africa. For example, before 1970s, there was the Ethiopian. Their lineage thousands of years.
No, but like honestly, like keep it a buck. Like you are honestly saying you want kids to sing "God Save the King" every morning.
Why not?
That's really weird, man.
It can feel like a belonging or something. You know what I mean? They don't. The kids nowadays. They don't. There's nothing. They're empty.
No, I agree with that. I agree with the fact that me personally, I think that what you're describing is better solved by my solution, which is to have a new Bill of Rights. Almost like a new UK constitution that guarantees people certain rights. So that's the thing that we conform everyone to be in alignment with is our new constitution.
Rights,
I think we should have freedom of speech, the right to bear arms. I think that we should have freedom of expression. A lot of the things in the Human Rights Act, I think that they should actually become an inalienable Bill of Rights for UK citizens that Parliament isn't able to change. But that doesn't mean people have to align with any cultural kind of guidelines. But you're saying like you think kids should like brainwash themselves by singing "God Save the King." I think that's kind of weird, man.
No, like because you know what I mean, because America, you know, America does like kind of the same thing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, but I don't agree with that.
And the French do it as well. Like,
I think it would be better if
can't
like they read out the Constitution, like, or something like that, so that people understand, like, again, like the principles of the country and the liberty. But just to say, oh, you know, I'm in allegiance to a government or a flag or a king, like, to me, I don't see the need. Like, we should just agree a set of basic principles for society, and that's what we hold as sacrament.
And I feel like,
is that the word?
yeah. No, I get what you mean, man. But like, I feel like just one thing in common for the whole population.
Yeah,
there's nothing. At least in America, they I mean, the majority of that country, I mean, still has, you know what I mean? They still have the most of that country is mostly, well, some of it are agnostic, but most of it is they're Christian. You know what I mean? So they can relate to that. Do you know what I mean? But I look around, like even my own area. I'm thinking, what do I have in common with you, man?
Where do you live, Croydon?
But luckily me, I live in like a what can I say?
Do you live in Croydon?
Huh?
Do you live in Croydon?
No. I'm not talking about my city or even town. I'm talking about because my house is like a little, where I live is like a little, I don't know, community. So you know what I mean, so I'm lucky. So I know my neighbors. You know what I mean? I know my neighbors, but majority of this country, they don't know their neighbors. They don't talk to their neighbors.
Yeah, that's true.
Because everyone's so different. There's nothing.
I don't think it's because people are different. I think it's because people are just being overtaxed. They're being overworked. They're scared of like expressing their opinion because of the leftist paradigm. It's actually not because people are different that they're not interacting. It's because the government is interfering with people's lives too much, and a lot of tragic things are happening in our weird modern society, and people are not allowed to express themselves. They're not able to be in the sun. They spend too much time away from their children and things like that. That's why everybody's depressed. Because I see it, because I have a business, so I don't work 9 to 5. So I can clearly see the difference between a person that has a 9 to 5 and like what I would consider like a normal person. Because people who are working a 9 to 5, they have like really high cortisol levels. They just like, I don't know how to put it, but that's why people don't interact. It's not because they're different necessarily.
Yeah, no. You know, I get what you mean. I do get what you mean, but like, I'm saying as a country, man. Like again, I'm gonna go back to the point. You know what I mean? Like, what? For example, if China, for example, was about to go to war, they will be ready.
You know how are you talking about war?
You have like some dissidents. You know what I mean? They'll disagree with the war and try and protest, but it will be very, very minimal. But they'll be ready. America will be actually
you really
ready.
Think...
I'm not going to lie to you. America will be ready. Russia ready. Do you know what I mean? Iran ready. Iran has their race. Iran has their religion. You know what I mean? China has their race. You know what I mean? Russia has religion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the US has a constitution. That's my whole point.
And the US has a constitution.
Yeah, but that's all we need. Like, we don't need... That's what I'm saying.
What does England have? What does the UK have?
But that's my point. That's exactly my
Nothing.
point. That's exactly my point. That's why we need a constitution. That's why I make this live.
But this is why I go back to the people that they're letting in, because you're letting in so many different people. And that's what it is.
They should reduce. They definitely should reduce immigration.
Yeah, but it's too
100%.
late now. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do now? It's too late. They've already brought them here. So what? It's too late. It's already messed up already. Like that's the issue. I feel like, oh, what's the solution? There's no solution. You've already brought these people here, so there's nothing you can do, bro. Unless you want to send the people that back. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh.
No.
It's because I was trying to type something and it was going funny. So like, okay, so obviously we both agree that immigration needs to be significantly reduced.
100%.
I mean, do you think that that's the main issue?
That's the main issue, though. That's literally I feel like that's literally the only issue as well.
Really?
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, man, that's the only issue, man. Because bro, what other issues that's causing division? I mean, if you're letting in so many different people,
You see, I don't know,
Yeah.
because if there was loads of people coming from like Australia and like Canada and like Sweden, I don't think there would be that
Yeah.
many issues.
no, of course they wouldn't. Bro, I have
So
to
it's not
dive deeper
really,
now.
it's not
But,
really
but broski, I have to dive deeper. I have to dive deeper.
yeah,
And
yeah. You might
I
want
have to dive deeper. Listen, in whoever's on this live, it may offend. I don't give a damn.
Don't
right?
get yourself
But I'm
banned.
just gonna say, huh?
I said, don't get yourself banned, not by me, by TikTok.
No. It's nothing. I'm not gonna say no banned words or anything. But I just feel like that's the sort of people they're bringing in. Do you know what I mean?
You're saying
it's
it's the Alhamdulillah, Astaghfirullah people.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
But they're cool though. Like, they're not that bad, bro. They have funny beliefs, but like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. They don't align with the West belief. They don't align with British beliefs or
Yeah.
British values. They're
yeah,
not
no,
aligned with it.
that I agree. So I agree that people who don't align with the belief system of freedom of expression, freedom of speech and stuff, I believe those people shouldn't be allowed. But I don't think they should have to conform necessarily to the cultural practices. That's what I was saying. But you see, the problem with that is that I don't feel like the current UK system or the most people in the UK even align with those beliefs either. Most people don't actually believe in like freedom of speech, freedom of expression. Most people don't believe in like a really truly free society like anymore. Everyone in the UK is a leftist.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's
Yeah.
the actual problem, man. It's ridiculous, man. You know what I mean? And yeah, but not gonna lie, because I would rather, if I was the Prime Minister of Britain, listen, I'm black and proud. You understand? Yeah, I'm black and proud. Yeah, but I would listen. I've got being black and proud is not just supporting just black. Yeah. I'm black. Yeah. Forget everyone else. But you got to tell the truth. Do you understand what I'm saying? You got to tell the truth.
Yeah.
And because I would rather, if I was going to be perfectly honest, if I was Prime Minister or whoever, whatever, I would rather have a bunch of Swedish people or a bunch of Northern European people than people from, for example, Somalia or you know what I mean, or Afghanistan, all these countries down there. You know what I mean? It's facts. It's facts. Brother. If you was brother, I'm gonna ask you a question now, yeah. If you was Prime Minister, if you was Prime Minister of Britain today, yeah, and you had a choice, okay. I have a bunch of Swedish people or a bunch of Northern European people, like Danish or not Danish, Danes, not Danish. That's a food. Danes and who were Norwegian, and pick between that or a bunch of Somalians, Afghans, you know, what other country can I say? Even the Congo, you know what I mean? Who would you rather? Let's just be honest now, yeah. Who would you rather let in?
Right now, as
If
the
you was
UK
Prime
is
Minister
now,
right now.
wait, I'm gonna keep it 100% a buck. Right now, the
Yeah.
way the UK is now, 100% the Northern Europeans, no question.
Thank you.
Because it's but me personally, I have my little calculation that I do where I need like a balance. Like for me, I need about 13% black people, like 10 to 15% black people. That's like enough for me, and then maybe like 10% other, maybe 10, 20%. I think it's better when there's like, because you see like YT people, they like to like follow rules and they typically like they're just more like, no offense guys, they're more like docile. So you need the wild cards. You need something to spice it up a little bit, but not too much. Like I wouldn't want to live somewhere with too many of one type of person. Now, if you're talking about like Somalians, Afghanistan, like their percentages can stay like relatively low, but I still would want some of them. You know what I'm saying? Just keep it a little bit spicy.
You got to control your demographics.
Yeah.
You got to control your demographics. Because let me tell you something. I've been saying this for years. I feel like there should be like just free, at least free. Like free. There's all right. You got the white British. All right. Cool. YT British. You got them. All right. Cool. Yeah. You can have your black people there, but just have that percentage remain how it is. Then you can have your Sikh people. Sikh people are very peaceful people. They're very peaceful. You know what I mean, so they can be there, and that can be it.
Wait, I got a question for you. I got a question for you that attacks the heart of the argument you made before. Do you think that Sikh people should have to conform to the culture of the UK?
No, of course not.
See, then now you agree with what I'm saying.
Yeah.
No. But hear me out, bro. Now you see what I was saying. Like, Sikh people, they come, they abide by the law. They're not antagonistic. They believe in freedom of speech, freedom of religion, right? But they don't conform to the culture. So that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like
the country as well.
People don't necessarily have to conform to the mainstream culture, but they have to conform to the general principles of freedom and the law and be non-violent. You get what I'm saying? That's my position.
Yeah. Sikh people will do that. You know what I mean? I've never had an issue with a Sikh person in my entire life. Sikh people are peaceful. They can practice their religion. You know what I mean?
I hate that, bro. I'm gonna have to drop you down. I am enjoying this conversation a lot, but we got 6 people and I haven't been able to get to any of the chats either.
Of course, man. It's nice having a conversation.
Nice speaking to you, brother, man.
Thank you for being respectful, man. I appreciate it.
Alright, so yeah, we're live right now, guys, on YouTube. We're also live on Facebook. Oh, I got something for you guys. Check me out on Facebook. Like, my name, Amma, A-M-A, surname M-A-D-U-A-K-O. So we're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. Just hit up my ting, bruv. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, we're on TikTok. Like, check. This is the YouTube, guys. State of Deception. I'm building this shit brick by brick. All in Jackman says, are you accepting other people on TikTok? Yes, I am. Let's get another guest up, actually. Free Palestine. Okay. And what we got? Their very presence changes the demographic and ultimately heritage. That is true. You need to control immigration so that, like, the people coming is like a slow trickle so that the demographics don't change too much. I do agree with that. What's up, Free Palestine?
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm good.
I was just wondering why you think, because don't get me wrong, I'm very critical of both the US and the UK.
Okay.
Deeply critical.
All right.
But I was wondering what exactly makes the US better, just because I think even though the NHS is underfunded and it's struggling because of that, I believe that, like, the access to free healthcare is good in comparison to in America. I really would not like to have to, like, have an accident happen, then I have to pay for it. And if I can't pay for it, I essentially...
Would you rather have to pay for it if you didn't have an accident?
If I didn't have what?
Would you rather you're paying for it whether you have an accident or not?
Oh, what, as in insurance?
As in insurance or taxes. You're paying for it whether you have an accident or not. So you're paying for it, brother.
No, what, in the UK you mean?
Yes.
No, I know, but it's in... It's sure it comes out in tax, and I don't mind that. It's not enough that's being given to the...
You don't mind it going to the government, but you mind it going to the private sector?
No, I wouldn't mind it if it was given towards healthcare, like actually funding the NHS. That's what I would support if it was in the UK.
But that's the government. So you don't mind the government funding healthcare, but you mind private companies funding healthcare? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
That's weird.
No, yeah. In terms of private, yeah. Because I think it's...
What's inherently better about the government compared to a private company?
The private company, its entire... Well, with the government, if this is where I'm going off kind of like a socialist sort of understanding. If we had more input in the government... Well, what's wrong with being socialist?
You carry on.
What? Are you capitalist?
100%.
Oh, why though?
Well, capitalism is just the default position of free enterprise. Obviously, it needs to be regulated through laws, but you don't need to start redistributing wealth. Unless you're talking about people being absolutely destitute. But
if capitalism was the default, it wouldn't have been created. It was
wasn't
like a created system.
It's not really a created system.
If capitalism was like a natural state of human beings, it wouldn't have been created. It was created by.
It is.
Like, yeah. No, it's not natural though. We don't come out the womb knowing what capitalism is.
How is it not natural to have people buy and sell things?
Because money isn't natural.
Yeah, money isn't natural, but people still trade things in nature.
No, yeah, sure. People trade
which
things.
Which means that people have to have a way of ascertaining a value proposition, and by virtue of there being a value proposition, that gives birth to capitalism. The concept of people comparing and contrasting value propositions in order to maximize the value for themselves, which is an inherent trait of human beings, is to try and maximize value for themselves.
When it's capitalized, that's where you get inequalities. And America is a heavily capitalist country. So is the UK.
But inequality is also natural.
It's a set-up system, though. It's a set-up system.
Inequality is also natural.
It relies... How is it natural? It relies on...
How is inequality not natural?
Inequality. No, I'm not saying that inequality is not natural. I'm saying that capitalism is not natural.
But
inequality is definitely
natural. But think about it.
Because meritocracy is a myth. Meritocracy.
How is meritocracy a myth?
Meritocracy does not. Okay.
That's one of the most fundamental parts of humanity.
Okay, well that completely contradicts what you're saying. Though.
How
How can you believe believe that inequality is natural but meritocracy also exists? Those two things directly contradict each other.
No, they don't. Meritocracy creates inequality.
We can go into the systematic aspect of it.
How is that a
Meritocracy
contradiction?
is seen. Meritocracy. Oh, I'll explain. Meritocracy is the belief that every single person on the earth has the same opportunities.
No, it's not.
In order to succeed.
No, it isn't, bro.
It literally goes under the status.
That's not what meritocracy is.
Meritocracy. You can Google it. It literally is about.
Let's Google it. Let's calm down a bit so we can Google it, so we can make sure we're defining our terms, because I don't like debating when we don't agree on the definitions of things. So let's just get a working definition of meritocracy. So it says it's a notion of a political system in which economic goods or political power are vested in individual people based on ability and talent rather than wealth or social class. So that's the Wikipedia definition, I think. Can we get a dictionary definition? A society governed by people selected according to merit, a ruling or influential class of educated or able people, government or the holding of power by people. So I think, would you agree with this definition? The holding of power by people selected according to merit being the quality of being particularly good or worthy, especially so as to deserve praise or reward. Yeah.
So that's my point. So we pretend as if meritocracy is real, as if people are actually genuinely selected based on their qualifications and merit and talent. But we do have all these other factors, such as inequality, that are typically promoted by things like capitalism. So capitalism prevents people from getting access in terms of education, healthcare, getting successes in terms of jobs, especially if you live in a very deprived area.
Mate,
in the north
that
of
is
the
complete
UK,
nonsense.
This area is super deprived, and it all contributes into one another.
So are you saying that there's no correlation between people being lifted out of poverty and people having access to education and jobs and life security? Because obviously, if you look at the places in the world that have developed the most over the past 50 years, all of those places also started to gain access to jobs, wealth, education after they developed, and they developed due to a system of capitalism.
No, but capitalism was designed with a specific person in mind. Capitalism can't exist.
Dr.
With the
Sheckelberg.
rich elite. Exactly who it benefits. Without capitalism, you wouldn't have billionaires who tax evade, and there's loads of those in the UK.
Tax evasion.
So many
people naturally want to avoid.
People blame immigrants. They tax evade, and then the government also puts its money towards.
I think what you're doing is you're conflating ideas that you see as inherent negatives of systems that are deregulated with what capitalism is. Meaning, like, you don't have to have tax. You can have capitalism without tax evasion. You can have capitalism without inequality, theoretically. I mean, socialism is actually capitalism where inequality is addressed through wealth redistribution. You understand? Socialism is an extension of capitalism. So you're conflating capitalism with a lot of other things that are not necessarily. They're not necessary to have capitalism. Do you get what I'm saying?
No, not necessary. It's more that people manipulate capitalism.
Okay, so you're agreeing that they're not fundamental to what capitalism is, right?
I mean, the structure of capitalism was set in place with intention. It was designed so that a specific group of people could be rich and kind of rule over the rest.
Designed by who?
It was designed by government elitists who wanted to maintain power. It was designed and instructed by the monarchy, and they also created the police with the intention of maintaining social control.
Ah, that sounds like a conspiracy theory, my friend.
It's not conspiracy. This is the entire evolution of the police.
So you think that the police exist to protect capitalism, to protect capital?
Yes, I believe the initial.
You don't think that they also exist to enforce the leverage of the state over the individual? In other words, because the state, the arbiters of the wealth redistribution are the state. So you can actually have a powerful state where the police exist and enforce laws without even having capitalism. So how can the function of the police simply be to protect capitalism? The function of the police is to protect the state.
Because of their historical origin. So if we compare, just for example, just for the UK and the US.
Right.
In the US, the police were initially slave catchers.
Bullshit.
That was their entire. You can look it up.
Bullshit.
A lot of the police's origins were to punish the Black Slave Rebellion.
Bullshit.
That is social control. Look it up.
Bullshit.
In the UK, they were established in the 19th century.
That is a rumor.
No. Let me speak.
Find me a single source.
In the UK,
You just heard that and you're repeating it.
Okay, right. Sure.
Find us a source.
You can please look this up.
I've heard it multiple times, but it's.
I'm on my phone right now. If I found a source, I'd end up believing a lie.
Mate.
If I left my phone,
okay. Police. So in what state?
In the UK, the way that they were structured was because they prior to the 19th century, they didn't exist. In the 19th century, the British elite witnessed what happened in France. There was the French Revolution. The reason that France does not have a monarchy right now is because of the French Revolution. They killed the French monarchy. So by the time it happened in France, everyone in Britain, all the British elitists, the people who were upholding capitalism, had the working class in slave labor and were making money off of slavery in America. They were like, shit, we don't want our monarchy to be overthrown. We need social control. We need someone to uphold capitalism. They proceeded to then establish a police force in the central of London, and then that's grown since then. So its origins are rooted in social control. To me, I think that, and this is not speaking on behalf of every single.
The NAACP is bullshit, by the way.
Up for someone.
But
you are.
No.
You can look it up. Look it up, dude.
No, I've heard it multiple times. I know why you think that.
Why do you
the
think
NAACP are race hustlers that push nonsense on the population? So they're obviously going to pretend that policing is all about black people. It's not. That's not why policing exists.
No.
Okay. Just let me respond. Calm down.
Right. Go ahead.
Are you saying that if we didn't have a capitalist system, we wouldn't have police?
No. I'm not saying the police are inherently bad.
And do the police enforce the laws of the country typically?
Yeah, typically, yeah.
Okay, so how are they just protecting capital if they are actually just enforcing laws? But they're enforcing laws on behalf of the government, and if the government was a completely socialist government, they would still be enforcing the laws on behalf of the government. The police typically exist to protect the state, not necessarily to protect capital.
Well, a lot of their things are about protecting capital.
Like
the
what?
Construction of them is to protect capital.
Like what?
Okay, so for example, when people have, with a lot of these laws that are coming in that are banning protesting, in particular when it comes to challenging things about Palestine, and our government sends so much money over to Israel to fund them while they commit a genocide upon Palestine. When people in this country are giving outcry against that, because, we're not about funding children being slaughtered, the police are then the people who are standing against us. We can literally hold up a sign that says... How is that protecting capital? Because of the money that is generated between Israel, Britain, and America.
Okay, so you think that as opposed to them trying to stop civil unrest because they don't like it when people rise up against their system, you think that it's actually because they're trying to protect the money? Because I don't think that the police would be very effective if you just did a boycott. You know what I mean? Like, they can't really do much to protect capital in that regard.
Wait, how do you mean? If we did a boycott of Israel?
Like the police can't stop you from withdrawing capital away from, supporting people that support Israel or whatever. So what they're trying to prevent is civil unrest. That's why they're doing what they're doing.
There's different contexts for all of it, though.
But how is civil unrest about capitalism? It's more about protecting the social paradigm.
When you're talking about civil unrest, you're talking about people simply saying that they don't stand with the genocide and they want the government to withdraw the money that they're giving.
Yeah. I'm not saying whether I agree or disagree. I'm just saying that obviously they just don't want people who are rising up against what the government wants. I don't think that it's about money necessarily. Because remember, the people that run society, they have unlimited money. They don't really care about money. They more care about power and things like that. So I think the police exist to protect.
And what's a better way to uphold power than to enforce a law that says
the government can have power without even having money. They can be a government the government can make money. So I don't think it's necessarily about money. I think that it's about protecting the state and protecting the state's leverage over society. But you seem to frame everything bad as capitalism, and then you just say I'm a socialist because everything bad is caused by capitalism.
No, I'm a socialist because I believe that capitalism doesn't work. We have prime examples that.
But you need capitalism in order to have socialism. 1%. But you can't even have you can't have socialism without capitalism.
I'm not saying that a complete derailing of capitalism would make sense. I'm saying that we could improve and definitely reform on capitalism, which is why when I'm curious about why you think the US is better than England, it just makes me think, well, why? I mean, if anything, there's almost less freedom of speech there than there is over here. And
Mate,
a lot of
come
it
on.
is very centered about.
That's
a lot
complete
of it is very
nonsense.
centered around capitalism.
You think there's less freedom of speech in the USA than in the UK?
It really depends on whereabouts you're standing with it. With ours, we've got actual legality, but then people, they lose their jobs and things over there for like basically.
That has
speaking out
nothing to do
against-
with freedom of speech.
In particular, when it came to like Charlie Kirk's assassination, everybody was jumping on it and sort of. I'm not agreeing with making fun of his death, but people who did say things in the sense saying that they weren't going to empathize with this Nazi who died, a lot of them did lose their jobs.
That has
So
nothing
it's-
to do with
I don't
freedom of
really know.
speech.
Okay, do you want to give me your reason specifically for why you think America is actually better than the UK?
Yeah, by the way, that has nothing to do with freedom of speech, because freedom of speech is about laws that criminalize speech, which they have in the UK, but they don't have in the USA. Excuse me. So the USA is better because it provides more freedom for its citizens. There's more economic opportunity. You do have freedom of speech, contrary to what you may think. You have more freedom of speech in the USA than any other country in the world. It's a larger,
Yeah, with an element
more
of freedom of
prosperous
speech.
country. It has a better public sector, better systems. It has like 50 of the top countries by GDP per capita. So there's so much economic opportunity there. It has the best landscape, and you can live off the land. The land is relatively cheap for the Western world. It's easy to pass on wealth to the next generation. There's a whole host of reasons, but you can address any of those that you want to.
Okay, in terms of passing the wealth down from generations, I mean, this is the thing again about meritocracy. I don't feel like in the US meritocracy is real. Like a lot of people present the idea of like the American dream and things like that. And like everyone can achieve, I mean, this has literally been stated before, anyone can achieve the American dream as long as they work hard enough, get their head down, just, work to the absolute max, you'll achieve it. But really, the people who actually achieve the American dream, or as they quote it, just the richest, they're the ones who end up exploiting people. It's
Okay.
not about working harder, it's about working smart.
Okay, let me ask you a question. What country has the most? What country is it easier to be economically prosperous in? What country is it easiest to be economically prosperous in?
Well, out of UK and US.
In the world?
In the world, I do not know.
You know.
I don't.
You know. Take a guess.
Well, what? Is it America?
You know it's America.
Okay. Then why
So
do
what?
they
So
have
what does
so
that tell?
much-
What does that tell
why do
you?
they
About,
have so
what
much
does that?
poverty?
What does that tell you about meritocracy? It tells you that America is a society where you're most likely to be successful.
It's most likely, but meritocracy presents the idea that anyone can be.
But anyone can be to the greatest extent in the USA. There's nowhere in the world where everyone can be successful, but the place where the largest percentage of people are going to be able to be successful is the United States compared to everywhere else in the
However,
world.
How do you want to define successful, though?
We can use any working definition you want, but success typically is about economic freedom, the ability to have your basic needs met, the ability to pass on wealth to the next generation, the ability to be a homeowner, the ability to have access to
Okay, but that's
technology.
okay.
That's
If we're
typically
going on
what
about
people
that and
consider
how,
the ability to get educated.
if we're talking about how great to get educated is interesting because a large number of Americans are actually illiterate.
That's one
But,
that's one facet of success. But when you take the totality of it all, America is the most successful country in the world. It's not even. There's nowhere that's even close.
No, I know, but my point
So
is
that
the
means
idea of
that means that the idea of
in America
meritocracy,
is
even if
inaccurate.
it doesn't
Why are so
exist,
many
it
Americans
exists
do it?
to the
Why are so many thousands of Americans? This is where I go into like the healthcare factor as well. Thousands and thousands of Americans die every single year because of lack of access to healthcare because they can't afford it.
There's always going to be people that die due to lack of access, but there are thousands and hundreds of thousands, in
But
fact.
why do they have lack of
Okay,
access?
let me respond. There are hundreds of thousands of people that are supposed to have access to healthcare in the UK, and they die because they're on an NHS waiting list.
No, absolutely. This is what I'm
So
saying.
anywhere
UK needs to
in the
go.
world is
But
going to
I
have
don't-
people dying due to lack of access to healthcare. Every country in the world is going to have that.
No, I know, but it's not
So
about lack of
what
access.
is it
just
about
because the
America
government
that you think is uniquely?
It's not just because in the UK it's underfunded. Over there, it's because they simply can't afford it. That to me symbolizes
true.
that you only, a certain amount
That's
of
not true.
income. Your status
That's not true.
implicates whether or not you have access to healthcare.
That's not true. if you
It's also just
the
morally
lowest
immoral,
income
isn't it?
people in America get virtually free healthcare.
Wait, what? Sorry.
The lowest income people in America get virtually free healthcare.
Okay. Well, how virtually? What do you mean virtually?
Well, they may have like a couple $100s a year in medical expenses, but they basically get free healthcare.
Okay, then why are thousands of them dying?
Well, like I said, in every country in the world, there are going to be people that die because of not being able to access healthcare. They access healthcare.
It should
for
be a
different-
lot more minimal.
But
It should be a lot more
more
minimal than
people,
what it actually
more
is,
people
though.
die in the UK because of lack of accessibility to healthcare than in the USA, and the USA has a 4 times larger population.
Can you pull up the statistics to prove that?
Yeah, I got a video on my page about it. The Guardian and I think it was the Labour Party did a subject access request to all the NHS trusts and said, tell us how many people died on your waiting list this year. And they got all the numbers. Only about, I think, 30% of trusts responded. And the number for approximately 30% of the trust was like, in totality, it was like 65,000 people. So obviously, if you extrapolate that to the whole population, that's like 200,000 plus people dying on the waiting list. Now, granted, when you die on the waiting list, it doesn't necessarily mean that you died of the condition that you were on the waiting list for. But necessarily, there will be a percentage of those people that die awaiting treatment in the UK, and the UK has a waiting list of 7.4 million people. So it's a mathematical certainty that people will die awaiting treatment, and it's the same with the USA. People die because I suppose you could designate people as uninsured or underinsured, and then you could say that, oh yeah, if they had insurance that they may not have died. But again, you're really doing modeling and making predictions. It's very difficult to pinpoint the exact number for the people that are dying in the UK, but it's definitely much higher in the UK because of the number of people that are on the waiting list. There's millions of people waiting treatment in the UK, largest there's ever been in history.
1,000,000%. 1,000,000%.
So why is it worse? Why is it worse to die because you're underinsured than to die on a waiting list?
Because the point is with that is that you just simply do not. It equates your significance in life to the amount of income that you have.
But that exists in the UK
why.
as well, because in the UK you can
With the UK,
you can
okay,
get
I get
private.
it.
Wait. In the UK you can get private healthcare and skip the waiting list. So doesn't that mean that equates your value of your life to how much money you have?
No, it doesn't. This is my point. It should be funded more in the UK. My point is that healthcare should be free all around. It should be free
Why?
and should be government funded.
There's no such thing as free healthcare.
Because nobody pays for their ailments. Like, I didn't, you don't
But
ask
you do
to have
pay.
cancer, you don't ask to have a heart condition, you don't ask to have problems with your eyes or have issues with your
You
teeth.
don't ask to need to
don't
eat.
ask for
You
none of
don't
that.
ask to need to use toilet paper. You don't ask nobody asks for anything in life. So why is it just an ideological position that you have that it must be free? Because your arguments are incongruent. We didn't ask to be born, so therefore should everything in life be paid for through taxpayer money?
I never said everything, I said healthcare.
Why particularly healthcare?
Because, as I'm saying, nobody asks for shit.
Nobody
Healthcare
asks
is
to need to do a
something-
shit, but they have to buy toilet paper.
No, I'm saying nobody asks to, say, be stabbed in the leg or be shot or have their child be injured or literally anything.
Okay, so it's the same with everything in life. Nobody asks to be born. Nobody asks to need to shit. Nobody
not
asks
the
to be
same for everything
hungry.
in life.
Nobody asks for any of this.
Yeah, exactly. But
So-
that's the point. Capitalism maintains this kind of structure
So are you a communist?
that keeps people at the bottom.
Are you a
That
communist?
keeps people at the bottom.
Are you a communist?
I said I'm a socialist.
No, I'm asking you, are you a communist?
That I'm a socialist.
No, but is that no, you're not a communist?
No.
Okay, so where do you draw the line with respect to what should be controlled by the government? Because you seem to be adamant that healthcare should be controlled by the government. What else do you think should be controlled by the government?
I believe education, but I also think that a lot of people. So if we're talking about specifically America, I will say guns. How do you feel about guns in America? If that's an aspect.
We're changing the topic. Well, I will get to guns, but what
Because I am
do you?
actually
I just want to understand, what do you think should be controlled by the government?
I think that healthcare should be a government concern,
Okay,
rather than
healthcare.
rather than private companies that make the most money off of it,
Okay,
and then people end up dying.
but you don't
Then you get
care.
people like
But you don't
Luigi
care.
Mangione
But you don't
who
care if
die
people
with
die on the waiting list because the system's overburdened.
No, I care about people dying. That's why I said it should be a government issue, as in the government funds it.
But that's what I'm saying. You don't seem to care about the actual outcomes. You just have an ideological position that it has to be government funded.
Maybe if we taxed billionaires more, then our NHS would be sufficient.
You don't think the NHS gets enough money?
No.
Why not?
Their staff are massively underfunded. They're not given proper PPE. They weren't given PPE during COVID. The MPs, you can look up the PPE that they were given during COVID. It was literally like a plastic bag over the fucking heads.
Wait, so can I ask you a question, right? When the NHS staff and the NHS gets more money, does it improve patient outcomes?
Yes.
Where's the evidence of that over the past 20 years?
Well, that's the point. We don't have evidence. I know that it would.
No, but tell us, because they have previously constantly received increased budget. And
does that match with inflation?
No, it doesn't matter whether it matches with inflation. Your point is that more money will make the healthcare service better. Where is the evidence of that?
Exactly, I would like evidence of it. I would like that to be the case.
So you have no evidence to suggest that giving them more money is going to solve any of the problems.
I know that it would.
Why? Based on
what?
How
can you? No, because right now where they're not funded enough.
They are funded enough.
You have staff who are working. They're not funded enough.
Why do you not think they're funded? Tell us how much do you think? How much more money do you think they need? Tell us.
What, in comparison to what they're already given?
Yeah.
I would say up it and up and up it until you see results.
And the money's coming from the taxpayer, right?
No, I believe essentially the money should come.
Where's the money coming from? Are you looking up how much the NHS receives every year? It's like 176 billion or something like that. And then they just got a 4% budget increase. So you guys do the maths on that. Probably like another 50 billion or something, 40 billion. Do you think that that's going to solve the problems in the NHS the more we keep funding it? Because the thing is, it's like if I had a business that wasn't working and I'm like, hey man, I'm in the hole. Sorry, you gave me 10K. I spunked it. I bought lines and KFC every day. And, I had chicken and watermelon orgies. And then I come back to you and I'm like, dude, I promise, just give me more money. And I promise I won't have chicken and watermelon orgies again. Like, don't you think that maybe the issue of where the money is going is more important than giving them more money?
Do you think that the NHS is just spending it on chicken and watermelon?
It might as well be. People would probably be better off. They're spending it on no, I don't think that they're spending it on things that they don't necessarily need overwhelmingly, but there's a lot of wastage. I think there was a lot of wastage during COVID. I think that they make poor management decisions. Sorry?
Where do you think the wastage was in COVID?
The vaccine, the PPE. I think the whole thing was a complete scam.
The PPE was bullshit.
Yeah, I don't think COVID is actually real.
What?
I don't think COVID is real.
Did you ever have it?
No, I don't. I mean, you can have a set of symptoms, but I don't think that it was caused by a virus.
You don't think? Okay, if it wasn't caused by a virus, how was it spread?
I don't think it was spreading.
How was it not spread though? Because okay, listen. When oh my god, sorry,
you're such an NPC, bro.
Bro, no, you said that just sounds like very classic. I mean, do you live in America? You should move over there, bro.
I am moving over there.
I can't believe you don't think that COVID was real. You really don't think COVID was real?
No, I don't think it was real.
Okay, but when a lot, like millions and millions of people in succession all get
can I ask you a question? How old are you?
The flu is not real.
Yeah, I don't think the flu is caused by a virus either.
Okay, whoa. Do you not think that like, any diseases are real?
No, diseases are real. I don't think they're caused by viruses, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
I think bacteria can make you sick and bacterial toxins, but not viruses.
Right, okay, right. Well,
I know. I'm like NPC killer final boss.
Is that your title?
Yes.
Mm.
You are like one of the biggest NPCs I've ever met, though. Bravo.
Cheers, man.
How old are you?
21.
Are you? Someone was calling you a girl in the chat. Are you like? You're not a girl, are you?
I am, yeah.
You're a girl?
Yeah, just deep voice.
Oh, okay. I was a bit confused because I was like, I couldn't really tell. You can't tell these days, right?
Nah, it's literally. I mean, to be fair, I'm pretty masculine. I'm chill with it.
I don't think you're
mind.
masculine.
Really?
Yeah.
I have a mullet.
I don't think that makes you masculine.
Not
Masculine is like
inherently,
how I
depends.
am, like being like deadpan and confident and not caring what people think. That's like masculinity.
Really?
Yes.
You know what? I'll let you get on, mate.
All right.
Good debate.
Take care. Bye bye. Oh, Phantom Black is back. Phantom wants to smoke with the NPC killer final boss. Abdi says also not believing stuff in the media. Yeah, that's true. Not being an NPC makes you masculine. What's up, the lady? Actually, no. There's some girls. Betsy. I wonder if Betsy's in the like. Betsy is super like woke, but she's feminine. So yeah, you can not believe the bullshit that they teach us and not have to be masculine. But a mullet don't make you masculine, guys. What's up, the lady Valentine? Hello. I hope you didn't fall asleep waiting that long, because I did leave you waiting for a long time. I'm gonna drop you down. Let's get some of the comments. Big up Amma, Bun, Mason, Aaron, Chloe, No Nick Bro, and Tony Lesiano. I don't know what that means, but yeah. You're saying like you're sending shots at my haters. Thank you, man. I need more people in on my team who are like and we need more NPC killers. I'm the NPC killer final boss, but I need NPC killer like lieutenants and NPC killer. Who wants to be? You could be infantry as well. If you're like not super, like if you're like 80% woke, like you could be like infantry. When you're like 100% like me, a blood drinking, raw milk drinking, brain eating, germ theory denying. Doc Hand says I don't have money. Lowbrow says you're an NPC for falling for conspiracies, mate. I hate to break it for you. You support power. C says I'll be a ground soldier. What conspiracy did I fall for? I would love to know. Are you saying that I fell for a conspiracy because I didn't fall for the COVID scam? You didn't fall for the scam that was sold to us by the media. That makes you a conspiracy theorist. I fell for it. That makes me not a conspiracy. Is NPC just someone who has oh no, it's morals. I don't have morals because I didn't fall for COVID. Now I don't have morals. Get vaccinated or you don't have morals. So you didn't fall for the get vaccinated for the donut, but you was like a bit above the people that fell for the get vaccinated for the donut. You're like get vaccinated or you don't have morals. No, here's the hierarchy. There's get vaccinated for a donut, get vaccinated so you can travel, get vaccinated because you're a good person. You're not as bad as some of them. I'll give you that. You're not as bad, but you still fell for it. But you just like you fell for the get vaccinated. Otherwise, you're gonna kill grandma. You're gonna kill grandma. Phantom Black, don't worry. I'm gonna smoke you in a moment. I know you want the smoke. You're gonna get the smoke. Just wait. You gotta wait patiently. We got 65 people watching live on TikTok. Let's see what the YouTube stream is doing. We only got 3 people on YouTube. That's okay. We're gonna. Oh, Prometheus says. Prometheus is our number 1 YouTube viewer supporter. Shout out to Prometheus. Thank you, Prometheus. I appreciate it. When when us NPC killers finally inherit the Earth, you'll be my right hand man. Prometheus says she'll never truly understand us Neanderthals. Yeah, man. I'm the type like if the world like ended and we was all back to like I'll be there with like a spear like and I'll still be the same kind of ninja. But some of these people be like, oh my goodness, how am I gonna get my hormones? And I'm like, oh. It's like it's gotta be in you. It's like an energy of like, oh, you gotta have the oh. I got the oh. You know what I mean? Some people they just kind of like me. But I got the oh. What's up, Tornado? Yeah, like that survival instinct. Like shit's gonna hit the fan. Like sink or swim. Like you gotta have cojones, man. I got that dog. Got that dog in him. What's up, Tornado?
Yeah, this might be a sensitive topic for you. I don't go against what you say,
Okay.
I just want this chat to know, just in case they haven't been watching your lives. If I'm pretty sure it's you, and I might be wrong when I say this.
Yeah.
Didn't the United Kingdom government take away one of your children?
Yeah, the NHS killed my daughter.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that they know.
Yeah. But I don't
Yeah,
always go into that
that
because
was
I don't want people
terrible
to
of them.
think that the only reason why I have these opinions is because like the NHS killed my daughter, and I'm a free thinker. I'm not saying that the two are necessarily entirely related. There is some overlap between it because obviously the NPCs, they get like the hair stand up in the back of their neck when someone thinks different from them, so then they attack and they like kind of like want you to conform and take all these vaccines and stuff. So obviously there's some overlap, but yeah, unfortunately my daughter was killed by the NHS.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, man.
That's all right, bro. They kill a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
just
people
want to
when
make
they
sure
get
that
away
I
with
just
it.
want to make sure they knew before they came up and debated you, just to have the whole entire picture of your background.
Oh, no one's worried about that, man. Like it's okay. Like obviously, if someone dies to me, then I'm gonna experience the pain of it. Nobody else will ever understand. Everybody gonna lose something. None of us is making it out of here, guys. That's why you gotta live free and stand up to these fuckers. Because ultimately, like a lot of the people that have these kind of opinions that they have, I think it comes from fear. It's like they are genuinely scared to question the paradigm. That's why, like, if you look and they're like, "You don't think COVID's real?" and I'm like, "No, I don't think COVID's real." And they're just like, because they don't know what to say. They just think like, "How can you not think the same as everyone else?" That's all they never thought about it. They just like, you don't think the same as everyone else, so you're bad. They never even sat and thought like, is this shit even real? They never thought about it. You get what I'm saying? And I don't know what you think, but I'm just speaking my mind.
Yeah, you can let me down now. I'm gonna be in your live still though.
All right, bro. Respect, appreciate it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been saying this for years, and I still haven't like budged on it. Like I'm 100% certain that COVID is not real. Like I will bet all of my money that it's not real. Unless you're talking about like the thing that they make in a lab and they say this is COVID, but it doesn't behave how they say it, but it doesn't spread. It wasn't why your grandma died. Like it's not real, bro. Anyway, Leslie, if it is, it's just another flu. As in another thing that seasonal kind of, not even seasonal, just like another thing. You know, like if you fucking get really cold, like you go from a hot country to a cold country and you're like, I don't feel none of the weather. Like that's not a virus, bro. That's because your body's cold as fuck. What's up, Leslie? Hello? Is everyone just falling asleep? I thought I had like a voice that can keep somebody awake. But every single time someone comes on, they're like, I got like the MB, you know, like in Men in Black when you like shoot the alien and they're like, and then you shoot they're like dressed up in a suit and then you shoot the alien, the dude, and he turns into like an alien. He was like secretly an alien inside. That's what I'm doing. Like, as soon as I start speaking the truth, all of the like NPCs like, they turn into like an alien. Like I brought out the alien from him, like Men in Black. What's up, Thought Provoke? Esther said I've lived there. Turner says this is why UK is better. Why? Because I'm here.
Hey, what's going on? So I don't actually know because I've never lived in the UK, but I just want to ask, like, if this sounds like something you experience. I don't. I just came into live, so I don't really know. Do you live in the US or you live in the UK?
I live in the UK, but I have lived in the US for a couple of months at a time, multiple times.
Awesome. So yesterday, I went to the dentist for the first time in about 2 years. And they looked me up and down, took my x-rays, all that good stuff. And then before the dentist actually came in to do the teeth cleaning, they're like, let's set you up on this loan for $15,000 to do what they said is a scaling, which I see as a glorified teeth cleaning, and to replace a cap. And they wanted to do an implant. And I think that's ridiculous. $15,000 for a little bit of dental work. I'm fine. And I just want to know if that's something you guys experience over there.
So they have NHS. Well, you can get dental treatment by going on like a waiting list, like an NHS adjacent waiting list. They still have private surgeries and stuff, but the waiting list is so long that a lot of people just pay for their dental treatment in the UK anyway. But I think you still have to pay a little bit anyway, if I'm not mistaken. Some people get it free. But yeah. every
Okay.
healthcare treatment, anything you want healthcare wise in the UK, if you want it on the NHS, you're gonna be waiting. So you're gonna
But
wait. Mental health, you're
it
waiting.
eventually, but eventually you can get it for like a small discounted fee.
Yeah, healthcare is cheaper in the UK, but obviously it's cheaper, but the citizens are poorer, so it's like, you know.
Cause like there's a lot of things I like about my life, quality of life. I live in LA. I like LA. I like living here. But after that experience yesterday, I was like, I can't grow old here. Like
Yeah, but you're in
I
LA, bro.
can't.
You need to move away from LA. Everything's expensive in LA.
Nothing else matters. Like everything else, my place is acceptable and affordable. But $15,000 for a tooth? It's not even like it's a tooth that's in my face, dying and rotting out.
Was it like a gold tooth with a diamond in it, like how the rappers got?
It,
Like,
yeah, it blew my mind. I'd never seen or heard. And here's the worst part: it wasn't actually 15K. It was 12 plus K. But they wanted to set me up for a loan for 15K because they just wanted to round it up, I guess.
was that the interest, the 3K?
I don't know what it was, but I got out of there. I went home. I took myself a rinse. And here's another part. So they needed. I have a cap in the back of my mouth, a cap on top of a tooth that had broken years ago. And they were like, "Oh, it's infected. You need amoxicillin. You need something for that." But they didn't even prescribe me the amoxicillin without me signing the loan. So I had to call back. I had to call back and be like, "Hey, I need the amoxicillin." And they're like, "Are you in pain?" And I was like, "Yes." Even though I'm not really in pain, but it's been like this for a while. I was like, "Yes." And
Bro,
then
you need to
after
start.
talking back
Why
and
don't you
forth,
just start going into Mexico? Are you in Southern California?
I've thought about it,
Bro,
but
just
now
get
I'm thinking about leaving the country because hear me out. My
Go to
dad
Mexico.
had all kinds of health problems. I foresee health problems in my future. I know it's going to be a part of my life, and if that's the kind of care I'm going to have, I don't think I can survive out here.
Where do you want to move to, bro? You come to the UK, maybe, yeah. It depends how much you earn. Like, if you're a really low income earner, it would be better to have the NHS because then, you're kind of getting it for free for you. But if you're earning, like, anything over, like, a decent salary, like, if you're earning more than, like, 50K, you'd be better off in the USA.
$15,000 for
50.
a tooth.
Oh, $15,000 for a
But no, I'm
tooth. Yeah,
saying
that's
for
crazy.
me, like, yeah, dude, like.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I just wanted to share that, I guess.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I appreciate you hearing me out. If you have anything you want to tell me, I'm open. But I just wanted.
No, it's all
I'm
good. We got
scrolling
some
around, I
some
saw
people
this.
waiting to come on, so I'll drop you down.
All right, man.
All right, take care. Is it? I'm trying to think. Is it the bottom person that is meant to come on first? Like the guest, TikTok guest is like, and then it keeps people on sometimes when they've gone. Like I'm just like, they need to fix that shit. Maddie Watermelon. Hi, Maddie Watermelon.
Hello?
What's up?
I have one question, then I'll leave.
Okay.
To be fair, I will preface and say I don't know how to leave, so you'll have to kick me off.
Okay.
It's not really about like the state of the US versus the UK. I just have a question. Why does all of your food absorb salt but not leave salt flavor? I was in London for 2 weeks, and every time I put salt on food, I never tasted any salt.
Oh, that's probably because you got that USA palate where they got like all of those like chemicals and stuff in the food. It ruins your palate. So like you have like a higher tolerance to flavors. That's a bad thing about the USA is there's so many additives that like it destroys your palate. So when you taste food that's not like super processed, you can't taste it probably.
Fair enough. Thank you, man.
Yeah. All right. Take care. Yeah. This guy, this weenie. We got a weenie.
Yeah. You say you make country? Go to Mexico or Central Camp. Do you hear yourself, man?
This guy, I never said the USA is the best country. In fact, Mexico is my favorite country, by the way. But USA is definitely better than the UK, bro. But Mexico es mi país favorito. De verdad. So, if me personally, but that doesn't mean Mexico is better than the USA, but like, that's my personal favorite country. how many school shootings have there been in the UK? What was that one? How many was there in the USA? Checkmate! The only thing that matters is whether your child has a 0.00007% chance instead of having a 0.0001% chance of getting shot. Yes. That's it. Checkmate. UK is better. Your child has a 0.00001% chance of getting shot in America, not a 0.00001. The amount of active shooters I've encountered in America is so scary, though. You need to be the active shooter if someone's going to be... You need to get active. Get active if it's time to be a shooter. You gotta keep that thing on you. Keep that thing on you. Lowbrow says, I'm glad you support socialist Mexico as your favorite country, though. That's based, to be fair. That's why I said it's not the best country, because it has a socialist Jew as its leader. So, yeah. The government... Obviously, Mexico is actually, like... a country where there's kind of like government overreach and militarized police and stuff like that. Like, I've been robbed by the Mexican police. And no, that doesn't make me a weenie, because even I can admit that I don't want to go to some cartel controlled prison in fucking Mexico. Okay, that doesn't make me a weenie, guys. I didn't want to beef the Mexican police. Okay, I admit it. That's my weeniest part of me, is I got robbed by the Mexican police. I didn't even know I got robbed, because he was like, hey, I need your ID, identificación. And then I gave him the card, and then bro put the card back, took a tenner out, and just fucking walked off. I'm just like, I didn't know what to do. Yeah. The UK is being overdriven by immigration. The most popular name is Mohammed, because, like, if you have a group of people who everyone is called Muhammad, then they form like a block of Muhammads. You get it? It's not because everyone's calling their kid Muhammad. It's because usually people will be like, oh, should we call him Greg? Oh, no, let's call him Bob. Oh, no, let's call him Tim. Oh, no, let's call him Javonte with an apostrophe, like, between the Von and the Tay. But then, like, Muslims, and a lot of Muslims, they're just like, Muhammad again. Again, Muhammad, yes. Like, there are literally Muslims called Muhammad. No, there are Muslims called Muhammad Mohammed. And then they like, and then remember as well, they also like compile Muhammad, Muhammat, with Mohammed, as in Mohamed, with Mohammad. Like, all of those get merged into Muhammad. You get what I'm saying? What we need to do is like have it sit down with our Muslim brothers and sisters and just be like, there are other names, okay? Other names. They just start doing what the black Americans do and put an apostrophe. Mo apostrophe Hamed Sean. J Muhammad, John Muhammad, John Muhammad Armani. It can be a first name and go by the middle name too. Yeah, that's a good point. When you got people called Muhammad, that's when you know, like, they're overdoing it. Muhammad. Momo. Momo for sure. Momo for sure. Oh my God. Do you trust science? Okay, you did say you're asking me good faith. Okay, do you trust science? If so, how do you decide which science to trust? What I do is, when I hear something, I use the null hypothesis. So I assume it's not true until I see strong enough evidence that it is. I apply critical thinking to it, deductive reasoning. I look at different sources, different studies. And if I don't know something, I'll just say, this is what I believe, but I don't know. And you can't trust science, because science is not really supposed to be a noun. It's a method. So do I trust a scientific method? I don't see any reason to trust it. Do I apply the method? Yes. DL says critical thinking. You literally think viruses don't exist. DL, I guarantee you, if I came on right now and debated viruses with you, you would look like an idiot, because you believe they exist because somebody told you them. You've never thought about it. That's the difference between me and you. Yeah, that's the difference between me and you. So you see, the thing is, you are free to believe what you want. If you believe viruses are real, that's fine. I'm not hating on you for believing something. What I'm hating on is the fact that you're coming at me, but you've never even challenged that belief. So realistically, you don't even know whether you're right or not. You just believe it because someone told you it. Do you get it? You've never actually gone, right, let me try and look at stuff that falsifies this belief. Do you understand? You've never actually thought, okay, what do they call a virus? How do they isolate it? Let me break it down. You've never actually done that. So why should anybody care what you think? Because you see, you can come on and debate me and we can have the discussion and I can tell you what I think. You can falsify it, we can agree to disagree, blah, 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 right? But you never actually thought about it. You never actually thought, when I'm being told this, is there a way I can test it myself? Have people tested this? Have people falsified it? You've never done that. So that's the real science. What I'm doing is saying I reserve my position until somebody provides sufficient evidence that explains to me how you can tell me that 2 RNA sequences are the same when they're actually not the same. They only have 10% similarity, and then you pick out regions that you say are the functional regions that actually matter. And then you say, well, even though they're only 10% similar, we're going to call them the same thing, even though you literally arbitrarily picked out the functional regions of the RNA sequence. And then how are you going to tell me that this thing is a virus when you literally made it by creating a viral isolate after doing multiple different steps to it, and it's actually expressed on the membrane of a monkey kidney cell. So it's actually a product of a monkey kidney cell. It's not actually the same thing that you found in the sample when you did the RNA sequencing on the raw sample. And then why do they never do the challenge studies with just the sample? Why do they always have to turn it into a viral isolate, then do the challenge studies? You never thought about that. And what happens when they do the challenge studies with just a sample? Oh, they don't see contagion. They only see any sickness expressed when they use the viral isolate, the toxic product that they created by doing the cell culturing process that they call isolation. But yeah, we get it. You're not as smart as me. And, I'm used to that. I'm used to people like you who are just like, you're just an NPC. It's okay. It's okay. Phantom Black says, I wonder if my man is a flat earther. No, I'm not a flat earther. The earth is spherical. All of the evidence suggests that the earth is spherical. MJ Blee says, are you getting any help for your mental health? This is my therapy for mental health, is coming on here and talking shit. And dunking on the weenies. This is my therapy. The earth is actually a triangle. Do you sincerely believe you'd out-debate a virologist? I've done it multiple times. I do it every single day on here. I completely destroy the virologists that come on here because they're brainwashed, and most of the time they can't even justify their own position. I actually debated a virologist on here yesterday. Was anybody here for that? When I debated she was I think she was a microbiologist, but I've debated like 4 or 5 virologists and microbiologists. Okay, Dio, you're like this close from getting muted because you just want to attack me. You don't have any points. You can't prove that viruses. You're just going to say, well, I'm not a virologist. I'm not a doctor. I just listen to the virologist and the doctor. That's what you're going to say. So why should I care about what you think? Over 300 mass shootings in the US alone this year. Yeah. Admitting you're talking shite. Well, it's a start. I'm talking shite because I have not found a worthy opponent. This is the level that you got me at. This is not even my final power level. It's not my final power level. Mate, you're a salesman who regurgitates poor literature. I technically am a salesman because I have a business, so I do sell products. And I used to do medical sales, yeah. And I don't actually regurgitate literature. I use deductive reasoning. Why do you think the US is better than the US right now as it's turning its military on its own citizens? Really? Turning its military? Is it using the military to try and prevent protests? I'm embarrassed to see other Americans actually going out of their way, stuff like this. I don't know what that means. Jimbo says, UK is better, laughing emoji. Got me there. You, if that is okay, 300 mass shootings, how many you think in the UK? I don't know, probably like 2. Why do you care about who's better so much? It just makes for a good live because you get US citizens, UK citizens, capitalists, socialists. It's just a good topic. And on the YouTube, guys, I don't know if you guys are watching on the YouTube live stream. On the YouTube live stream, it just looks like a debate live. Do you get it? So this is the prompt for TikTok. But if you guys watch on YouTube at State of Deception, then you'll see like, or if you watch on my Facebook, which my name is Ama AMA space Maduako MADUAKO. The dude says they're allowed to protest, not allowed to obstruct deportations. Yeah, that would be a breach of federal law, right? So I can, well, you know, I'm not a bootlicker, but it's quite obvious why the National Guard would be deployed if there was civil unrest and people were preventing ICE from doing their job. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm in support of the government necessarily. I'm just saying it's obvious. It's like saying, why did the police show up when I fucking graffitied on the wall? Like, graffiti on the wall is not that big a deal, but like, you got caught doing it, so the police are going to show up. Ratty Bean says, I would agree, but at least the UK has human rights. Yeah, but the UK interprets the Human Rights Act in a super, like, bad way. He's cleaning up the streets. Oh, Rugby with the authoritarian sentiment. So tired of Antifa just doing what they want. Crush them. No, really. Sometimes I'll be thinking, like, I see why people of the past were just like, leftists. Should you just round them up and just? I can see why. Like, they're just like, how many times do you have to do this in life? When leftists just say things, after a while, you're just like, like, after a certain amount of like long nose fatigue and like lefty fatigue and like ninja fatigue, you just
Then you're a fascist sympathizer, mate. I wouldn't say that so lightly. Crazy whack.
Oh, you're a fascist. I'm a fascist, guys. I'm a fascist because I believe in freedom of speech. I'm a fascist because I believe in freedom of speech, no government overreach, people being able to defend themselves. That makes me a fascist. Okay.
You're literally Hitler because you believe in freedom of speech.
You just said long nose fatigue. What? Are you trying to say that you think a certain group of people have long noses? I'm talking about all people with long noses. Who do you think I'm talking about? I was referring generally to people with long noses. So if you want to tell us who you think I was referring to, then you're going to be showing your prejudice there. Oh, you don't want to say... I think you were being anti-Semitic.
Laugh it off, but you just said you sympathize with rounding up leftists and just... Pretty please.
My mate farted in my pot noodle. Yeah, that's the level of conversation we're having right now. They always want you to be like Hitler.
You want to do this?
You are pretentious, lowbrow. All of your comments are dripping with pretense and prejudice. The prejudicial assumption that I give a shit what you think. What's your opinion on Reform UK Party? I mean, I don't care about Reform. Right, have we got any debaters? Our live numbers are dropping because I'm acting... I'm channeling Elmo right now, guys. Oh my god. Are you still whining? Like, get the butt plug out, bro.
You're a fascist sympathizer.
We don't care. Ninjas just want to shoot this shit sometimes, bro.
You're a fascist sympathizer.
Shut up. This is why people have lefty fatigue. We got the leftist fatigue. Because if people are like, just stop. Just take a chill pill. Slowly remove the butt plug, right? And just go, maybe he's just fucking around. You know? Maybe he is like slightly more on the right than I am, but maybe he's just fucking around. And I should stop being a weenie. Like, have you ever thought about that? Like, this. Sometimes when I type shit, I'm just like, I'm gonna delete that because that just makes me sound moist, you know? You type stuff and you look at it and you're like, yeah, yeah.
You're a fascist sympathizer. You literally just said that you're a fascist. How dare you talk about the long noses?
As I said, I was talking about all people with long noses. I wasn't talking about a particular group of people who have long noses. I was talking about everyone with a long nose. Okay? Just to clarify, TikTok. Prometheus says your assessment is right on the nail about the National Guard. Very childish. Okay, I'm childish. I'm wearing a fucking Elmo hat. Are you happy now? I'm childish. Now what? We got 35 views on the live. Guys, tap the screen to like the live. This is going on YouTube as well. So stick around, follow us on YouTube. If you're mildly entertained. I think this is entertaining, even though I've got 3 viewers watching on YouTube. It's okay. We're going to build it brick by brick. The YouTube channel is State of Deception. We're also live on Facebook, Amma Maduako. We got some comments on Facebook. I'm happy we were able to start the Facebook live stream because that's really what I always wanted, is for all of my friends and family to see me as I am. This is real. This is me. I'm exactly where I wanna be now. Jaron says childish or realistic. Jaron says millions stormed the streets in the UK praising Trump. I mean, I'm not a Trump supporter, but yeah. I can, I don't know why people are so obsessed with Trump. Like, he's not even that radical. He's just like a normal politician. Like, he's not a normal politician, but he's a politician. Like, obviously politicians lie, they say bullshit, like they fucking say they're gonna do stuff, then change their mind, they try and do things for political points. And then some of their policy is good and some of their policy sucks. Grace with the attempt at logic, the fact that this debate even exists proves you're wrong. What? What the fuck? Bagsin says, Oga, happy Independence Day. Oh, is it Nigerian independence? There you go. The woke lefties just project their hatred upon him and other right-wingers. They hate confident males. That's what it is. They want you to be weenie-like. Like, if you're not a weenie, then they like, you're a bad person. You literally, guys, just deep it. How many times, guys, have you gone into like a social situation or you meet like a girl or and you're just like, oh, I have to pretend to be a weenie now because everybody's gonna get offended otherwise. But if I'm on like TikTok, why can't I just be myself? Or on YouTube or on Facebook. Why do they want everybody to be forced to behave like a weenie? Not all of us are weenies. I'm just saying, like, you're a bad person. Oh my God. And they're obsessed with like, look at this guy.
No, I hate rapists, pedos, and bigots.
So where's the rapists, pedos, and bigots? Like, where are they? Like, who are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? Like, why are you, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about? How? Anyway, why are you talking about Trump? Like, did I say I like Trump? You got TDS? You got TDS, brother. USA definitely not better. England ain't far off, but we're definitely better than USA. Okay. Man, I can't wait to get back to the USA. I really want to go to like the West Coast. Spend more time on the West Coast. Because while I did like the South, I can also see why like people think the South is like, okay, it's the South. Like, it's a slower pace of life. Lowbrow says, you said we hate him because he's confident. I'm directly addressing that. No, I said people hate on me because I'm confident. I'm saying people hate confident males because they can't control them. And tyrants want to control everybody. Like, you see me, I'm confident, so I'm like, I just want people to do what they want to do. People can say what they want to say. I don't need the police involved. Like, unless someone commits a crime, I don't care. That's how confident people are. They don't need other people to step in and do shit. But if you're not confident, then you're like, no, the government has to step in. They have to protect me from being offended. They have to take people's money and give it to me. Like, that's how unconfident people are. They like want people to always be involved. But if you're an independent person, then you just take what you need, take what you want, as long as it belongs to you or you feel that you deserve it. and it's not, you're not robbing somebody, and then you just go about your merry way, and you're not always talking about TDS and all this. J1 says, I respect you because you outright said you don't like Trump, but you understand leftists are intolerable. I'm not saying I don't like Trump. I'm just saying I don't support him. Like, I'm not a Trump supporter. I wouldn't vote for him. I wouldn't vote, period, if I was an American citizen. I agree that's not what leftism is. Oh, my God. Oh. You shouldn't be relying on your government to look after you. Right, you shouldn't be, but most of us are, and that's what I'm trying to mitigate. I want to reverse having a society where people even feel like we need the government. Why would you not vote when that's what people fought and died for? So because people fought and died for something, I don't get that argument. Low-key, if the UK didn't exist, you'd have no one to compare someone's ugliness to. Are you trying to say UK citizens are butters? Voting's all rigged anyway. Yeah, it's all like political lobbying and stuff like that, right? What else is the government there for if not to serve the interests of the people? It's supposed to, but I think it's in the interest of the people to have a small government where they're not interfering with every facet of life. They want to make us think we have that freedom of choice, all BS. Yeah. Jason, can you stop typing remitting $5,000 to those who messaged me with the word God? I did. We're going to have to mute you, unfortunately. Akmumba says, nah, ain't no way they're saying it's rigged. I'm not necessarily saying that it's literally rigged. It could be in different jurisdictions. I wouldn't doubt that there's vote rigging that goes on. I'm not necessarily saying that the overall vote must necessarily be rigged. I'm saying that it's essentially rigged because there's so much there's so many donors and political lobbyists, so they get their interests met as opposed to what people actually want. And so it's rigged in the sense that obviously the parties that get the most funding, Republicans, Democrats, they're the parties that are gonna be the more successful parties, the parties that have the more media behind them, more propaganda in support of them. Conor Fisher says, side topic, I need that hat. Nah, bro, this hat is my hat that reminds me of my kids. So that's why I like this hat. I bought this in France the other day. I also have a Cookie Monster one as well. Agmama says, all I mean is that if any country out there has rigged voting, it's USA. Oh no, there's countries in like... You should go to Africa, man, and talk about rigged voting. I swear in Nigeria, they literally blatantly rigged the last election and everybody knew it and they just didn't even care. If you want to talk about rigged elections, go to like, even in Eastern Europe, they have, I think, a lot of like rigging. Eastern Europe, Africa, Central South America. There's a lot of stuff going on there. Akmumba in the house. Sadly, a lot of Americans don't have much understanding of the outside. Well, I don't know if that's necessarily true. It's a big country. It's less likely that they're going to understand countries that are super far. Most UK citizens don't know much about America, so I can see how most Americans don't know much about Western Europe. The only thing the UK is good is London, and it isn't even that great. I kind of agree with that, actually, but I have recently realised that there are a lot of places in the UK that are good, but like they're not popular good. Like Bristol's good, apparently the Cotswolds is good, apparently Bath is good, Edinburgh I've heard is decent. People like Cornwall, even though it's poor as shit. Apparently Brighton's good, even though it's super like rainbow. Where else is good? I don't know. Where else is actually good? Oh, people like Liverpool. Typically people from Liverpool, they like Liverpool. I've been Liverpool. It's quite good, yeah. I like Liverpool. Manchester, people like Manchester a lot. I think Manchester's better than London, I'm not going to lie. Manchester, do you know what? Manchester might be... Oh, did someone comment that at the same time as me saying that? Interesting. I think Manchester is the new London. Like, if you want to talk about the legacy of the UK in terms of where it's going to remain, what historical city will remain, like, good or is the next best upcoming place, I think Manchester is probably the best contender. Oh, have I got any justice yet? No, we haven't got justice yet. I've launched the case though, but I need to. I need to serve the particulars of claim. I need to get some medical expert evidence. And I've got a lot of stuff to do. These cases are long, man. Especially a case like my daughter's. And I'll never get true justice, because true justice would be them swinging from a pole, or with like a hole in the head. Right, I'm getting tired, guys. Oh, yeah. Brandon says, I like Manchester and Bristol metropoles with black women. Yeah. Oh, Bristol has some buff, bro. Bristol might have the sexiest black women in the UK. I don't know why. It's got bare like mixed race girls. Like the yeah. Bristol's got some hot women. Manchester's a fun place. That's a city, but not without as much of the negatives of London. Wales is beautiful. I've been Wales a few times. It's okay. It's quite nice. Yeah, I've been Wales like 4 times, I think. Yeah, Wales is decent. I wouldn't live there though. Abdi says, love your debates, bro. Yep. Right. We're wrapping it up, guys. Thank you very much. I'm gonna maybe eat and do some other shit. Peace. Okay, thank you, YouTube viewers, Facebook viewers. We're gonna wrap the live up now. Yep. That's me finished talking shite for the day.